Welcome back. Continuing our exploration of every creature from the original 1991 feed folio, today we examine a hulking temperate forest dwelling Wookiee-type creature called the Umplebee. The Umplebee first appeared in the pages of White Dwarf magazine. The creator's name is listed as Stephen Wood in the magazine, but Steve Wood in the fiend folio, so a correction there perhaps? I don't know if this is the same Stephen Wood who was StephenWoodGames.com, but I hope it is. You should go and check out his stuff, by the way. My aim, as always, is to provide a complete ecology, including lore from all editions and sources, and in this case, several other videos planned. I have information from unpublished ecology articles by Jonathan Richards. So don't ask me what Dragon magazine they were printed in. They were going to see print, but the magazine changed editors and they switched from their original format, presenting the ecology as a story with factual footnotes, which was the style that was championed by Ed Greenwood, and Jonathan's articles were all written to that format. And then they switched to a more inclusive style where no story needed to be involved and they didn't have all those footnotes. So it's safe to say that this is one of those what they don't tell you about the Umplebee videos. Also, Jonathan Richards wrote a lot of the published ecology articles. To give you some idea, there are 15 unpublished articles on my list from him. Okay, that being said, it's time to settle back, grab yourself a tasty beverage. We're about to get deeply nerdy. An Umplebee is an 8-foot tall, or 2.4 meter tall, 400 pound or 180 kilogram humanoid with a body entirely covered in dense, long, straggly brown hair. They appear massive and bulky, but as you can tell by the body weight, under all that hair they are actually pretty skinny, wiry creatures. So they look like Wookiees, but they don't have Wookiee strength at all. The Umplebee prefers to lair in a cave or hole that it digs into the side of a hill or under a large boulder, or sometimes under the roots of a very large tree in their preferred woodland habitat. Though they are not very intelligent creatures, they can understand and are capable of basic speech in the common tongue, but mostly they won't talk unless really necessary, and of course they have to be older and have heard the common tongue to understand it. They are solitary creatures, so they don't talk to each other, it seems. Occasionally, a male and female Umplebee will encounter each other in the forest and band together just long enough to bear a young one. They stay together until the baby wanders off one day and doesn't come back, and they lose interest in each other and wander off themselves. No more than 3 Umplebees have ever been seen together at one time. When a pair of Umplebees get together to produce a child, they stay together in a communal lair quite separate from either of their own personal lairs, and they do not share the information of where their lair and treasure hoard are located, even to their own partner or child. Like magpies and crows, Umplebee love shiny trinkets. They collect these treasures obsessively and have a supernatural ability to track down and sense treasure within 100 feet, even through solid rock. So this aspect of their nature has often been exploited. To detect treasure at such a distance, it has to be a large amount, usually more than 1,000 coins or at least 50 gems or so. They're no good at detecting like a single coin or a gem, no more than you or I. About the only time an Umplebee will stay still and remain focused on one thing is when they're admiring or trying to get hold of more treasure. Otherwise, they're very easily distracted and prone to just wandering off, which is why you don't see them being captured by other races for servitude, as they just won't follow instructions or perform tasks if they get the least bit bored, and they loathe captivity, always doing whatever they can to escape and wander off again. If you don't know where an Umplebee has its lair located, it will never tell you willingly. You have to use some sort of a charm or compulsion magic on them. Even threats of death and torture won't get a word out of them. Well, they might just make weird giggling sounds at you. On meeting a party of adventurers, an Umplebee will often shamble along with them, neither helping nor willing to be left behind. It constantly gets in the way and seems incapable of moving in silence. Any overly kind or naive person who offers an Umplebee food and water will gain total loyalty from the shambling giant, and it will always be begging for food and water afterwards, as they are incessantly hungry. They don't eat meat very often, they can, and don't hunt humanoids or other game, apart from they will use their net on small game occasionally. Unless it's some sort of a plant beast. They mostly pick berries and fruits from trees and shrubs, so they love sugar. It's like a drug to them, and if they taste it on food, they get very motivated to have more of it. Once charmed by magic or gifts of food and water, the umblebee will try to help if it can, and may even offer some advice if it's asked, but they will expect to be rewarded with treasure, not more food. Well, including more food, particularly sugar. And failing to give them any of that after they help you will see them quite offended. Their charm broken, they will wander off again and refuse to help any further. Oh, while they are vegetarians, they can eat a wide variety of food and can eat meat if it's offered to them, but they don't prefer it. The mass of hair growing all over the umblebee's body is its primary defense and means of attack. First, it's a lot more durable than it looks, being 50% stronger than spider silk rope and very difficult to burn. A net woven from umblebee hair can sell for up to 100 gold in some places, if they know what they're buying. Second, their body and hair generates a large charge of static electricity, and few creatures who know about umblebee will risk getting a shock from one. Well, blue dragons and behir certainly know about it and find umblebee to be something of a delicacy, often hunting one down for a lovely snack. The umblebee is immune to electricity, of course, and one smell of dragon in the air and they will make a run for it. Away. They run away very quickly. They don't seek out other creatures. They are very rarely seen, and even for such a large humanoid creature, they don't have much of any sort of footprint on the environment. It's hard to track them down or know when they're around, as their tracks and feeding habits tend to be quite similar to a bear. Unless a ranger gets a good look at a footprint or notices some of that brown hair snagged on a bramble. The brown hair does turn silvery grey with advanced age. Oh, and their babies are born already covered in a growth of hair, so they're very cute, but terrible toddlers, and they steal shiny trinkets pretty much from birth. In previous editions, there was a specific way to handle the umblebee's electrical damage potential, but this can be streamlined a lot to just a rechargeable special attack, if you pardon the pun. The regular low power attack with the assumption that the umblebee is rapidly rebuilding static charge at all times. Umblebee have very fine control and can deliver as little as 1 point of electrical damage from a static discharge. They also release a large shock over their entire body to clear themselves of fleas and vermin first thing each morning. When not wandering around or tagging along close to a person it is bonded with, the umblebee will most likely be found sleeping. Without any outside stimuli to awaken it, an umblebee can sleep for up to 12 hours at a time, easily. They tend to get cranky if they go more than a few days with under 10 hours of sleep per night, and they don't sense treasure well when they're fatigued. If a party of adventurers try to ditch a slumbering umblebee, which has been following them around, bad news. The umblebee will always show up again, pissed off and likely to steal and eat all the food's rations and shiny things. The umblebee uses its hair like a resource, weaving bags, often made out of it, to carry or store coins and gems to take back to its cave or transport its treasure to its lair. Umblebee are intelligent enough to know that others value their knitted ropes, nets and bags. They know their hair regrows fast and don't mind plucking it to weave with, and they're very good at making tightly woven bags that are almost watertight and very durable. Umblebee will wear their bags and nets wrapped around their waist like a kilt and wear the bags slung over their shoulder, very much like a Wookiee. Umblebee are known to catch monsters like shambling mounds and release them near their secret lair, and if they find other suitable creatures, always forest-based, they will use them as untrained guardians, so be wary anywhere near their lair once you find out where it is. Shambling mounds are perfect because they tend to love electricity, and an umblebee can get hold of an iron golem. Well, that could be a terrible problem given the combination of raw power and just the sheer weirdness of the relationship between the two. Shocker lizards are often found around umblebees as well, generally attracted to them when they use their morning flea zapper burst of electricity, which the shocker lizards can detect, of course. Once they figure out that neither of them can harm the other with electricity, as both umblebees and shocker lizards are totally immune to it, they'll often fall into an alliance of convenience. By layering together, they ensure their dens are easier to guard. Vaults, which the next video I'm making will be an ecology video on my channel about the vaults, on the other hand, are never found around umblebees, for the umblebees consider the floating, large-eyed vaults to be nothing more than horrid pests. This is because the vault attacks by biting with its lamprey-like mouth, getting a good grasp and then stinging with its electrical tail stinger. Volts are not smart creatures and will attack Umblebee over and over, trying to bite through the thick hair while stinging them repeatedly. So Umblebees hate the things, obviously. This is a false fact that is often spread with the lore of the Umblebee, that their hair causes euphoria if the foul smoke is inhaled when it's burned. This is not true. It's more likely to cause your character to vomit. Alchemists value the Umblebee hair though, but nothing else on their body has much value to them. A wizard with knowledge of electrical spells can craft a simple ring of Umblebee hair to create a minor ring of energy resistance, though the ring itself is far more fragile than a metal ring, of course, but they are cheap and fast to create. The hair can also be used to form the core of a rod of metal and mineral detection, which are highly valued magical tools, much sought after, particularly by dwarves. Umblebee can be found in almost any temperate forest environment across Faerun and are found on many different worlds in the Prime Material Plane. They are extremely rare in the Outer Planes, and I've never heard of them being encountered on any of the Inner Elemental Planes. I also don't know exactly where they came from. My name is AJ Pickett, as always. Thanks for watching, and I will be back with more for you very soon.